Hello everybody, you should be able to hear me instead of music now. Welcome to Rigging Up. I'm Lucy, and today I'm joined by an exceptionally wonderful cast of people. We'll go through and introduce ourselves, and let's start with the least experienced in Netrunner among us, Lou.
Hi, I'm Lou. Well, Lucy normally, but I'll be Lou for simplicity's sake today. And I'm not really a Netrunner player at all. Never played a game of it, and I have very limited experience with TCGs as a whole. I played a bit of Pokemon, but I'm predominantly a Wargamer. I'm here to give an uninformed reaction on new stuff, basically.
Next up, Fally.
Hello, I'm Valentine. I play a bunch of different card games, predominantly right now Yu-Gi-Oh! I've played a little bit of Netrunner. Usually when I do play Netrunner, it's either SEB or BTL. So I have a bit of insight into the game, so I'm going to have slightly more informed takes.
And then the rest of us are your typical rotating cast of Rigging Up members. I'm joined by Landa, Evie, and Tealeaf, who are going to be hopefully clarifying the actual power level of the cards based on our reads after Lou and Fally have gone into theirs. So, without much further ado, let's kick things straight off by picking up with one of the biggest unanswered questions that we had from the last video we recorded, which was, what the hell does Vic do anyway? And with, I think, only one card left to reveal for Crim, if I can count set numbers correctly, there is a sort of... It's kind of clear that there is a singular answer to that now, and that is the card Rotary. So let's... I know that Fally has some very strong opinions about this card, but let's start by kicking things over to Lou to give your surface impression of this card.
Yeah. So, first reaction, it looks pretty simple, but I'm guessing it does a lot more than it lets on. Also, who the fuck is using rotary phones in a cyberpunk dystopia? What? That's a bit old.
I think that the art implies there's been some adornments and upgrades on this thing, given all of the sort of LEDs on the bottom.
Yeah, you can't be a proper noir detective without a rotary, you know.
I guess so. I guess so. If it goes with like a big fucking e stogie or a cigar or something, then I can see it. Do they do e pipes? I
Is
feel like that should be a thing.
Vic smoking in the original art? That's the wrong Vic.
I think the
Yeah, the Dame is.
the Dame is,
Dame is, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well, so it is a very simple card. All it does is it lets you tag yourself to get an extra access. It gives you some MU, but that's sort of not real text. The big thing on this card is the downside, where you have to get rid of that tag, or the corp can get rid of this card. Fally, what's your take?
not worth the cardboard it's going to be printed on. As I don't think I would be excited to play this card if it didn't have the "you can trash this like a resource" text, and it does. So yeah, I think this card is unplayable.
I mean, I guess the question is, would you play it if it didn't tag you and it just said like, click, run a server, get an extra access 2 credits? That's kind of the value proposition being put forward, right? I guess except on the last turn of the game, where it can be used to push forward and you don't care about the tags because it's the last turn of the game.
Yeah, and again, also the extra text on it that it makes it more vulnerable, right? But yeah,
All right. In a sentence,
no, I still don't think I would be very excited to spend my console on that of all things.
in a sentence down the line, Casper.
I mean, I think the big drawback is that it's like a faux resource and could be trashed if you float the tag. But yeah, the extra multi-access in Crim is really nice, especially between 2 central servers.
Eliza?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like the trashability is a absolutely massive downside. If you could float tags with this, then this would be a card that you could consider in a lot of decks for Crim and possibly a lot of Anarch decks as well. They'd be happy with self-tagging. As it is, though, it's very, very niche because you've got to commit a lot of resources to handling that tag.
And Lander.
It's both the console and like slots compression. Like it's a bit of extra MU, it's multi-access, as long as you can handle that tag, either because your desire for more money or Vic for the effective clear. Like it allows you to compress the multi-access into a smaller pool, into one card, and then frees up more slot for other things, which could be something.
Yeah, I think my take on this is that sort of, and Melanomi in chat says this, in Vic specifically, it's click and 1 credit, access, 2 cards, draw a card. That's fine for a console slot. Like, is it going to be batting the heights of Hermes? No. Do you necessarily want to play Hermes in a Vic deck? Maybe not. We'll see about that, I guess. But I think like you bolt a Mary onto this and suddenly it's a really, really easy way to get a pretty big pool of access without the usual engine builder that you need to get twinning online. And in faction, unlike importing something like Beatrice, which importing Beatrice also has the downside of having to go through HQ, which is the server they're defending more anyway against Crim.
It gives you the tag anyway, so compared to this, it's like the same downside.
Well, Beatrice doesn't tag you, I think only Arrow tags you.
Yeah,
Beatrice is just the extra click. It kind of has the clearer tag click bolted onto it.
Yeah.
All right. With Rotary discussed, it's time to take a diversion into the runner bad publicity cards, of which there have been 2 revealed. So we talked a lot about bad publicity last time, about how it's this kind of persistent economy boost for the runner, where they get a credit on each of their runs if the corp has bad pub. And so usually it's generated by the corp getting a big upside, but it can also be generated by the runner as a way to punish the corp and get extra upside for themselves. And the first of these cards that we have is Compromat. It's a run event. It says run any server protected by ice. When that run ends, if it was successful, give the corp 1 bad publicity. Unless they derez one piece of ice protecting the attacked server, remove this event from the game. Lou.
Oh God. That is. uh, could I get a little bit more explanation of how this would be used in a game? Because like,
Yeah.
I'm lost, honestly.
So the big pull with this is you use it to make a run where there is a piece of ice that is derezed. There's like a few sort of really common scenarios you're going to see this. You're going to see this like played early in the game to run a server that only has one piece of derezed ice, and then you're basically saying, hey, you can res this, keep me out, or you can let me farm a bad pub. Or you can res it, hit me with whatever bad things it does, and then de-res it, effectively waste your money just to get a one-off trigger on all of the subroutines, which usually isn't worth doing. Usually, the res cost of ice is priced assuming you're going to get the subs to go either multiple times or that you're going to tax the runner out.
So it's basically forcing a corp to delete one piece of ice or take
to have to pay more money in order to reactivate a piece of ice. Yeah.
Right.
The other stuff you can do with this is kind of a bit more tricky. So one thing you could do is you could run, if you have a tool on the table. So there's a tool called Maglectric Rapid 748 mod, which basically just says if you make a run on HQ, de-res another piece of ice. And then there is another tool. So that way you could run HQ with this, use Maglectric to do the derez, and then there's nothing they can derez. So you just kind of guarantee yourself the bad pub. Your other approach is the ice only needs to be there when you start the run. So if you play some of the Anarch cards that let you blow up your opponent's ice, you can just destroy their ice during the run, and now there's no ice there for them to derez. So there are definitely a handful of ways you can guarantee the bad pub if you build your deck around it.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, if you've been able to build around it, I would assume that's going to be a really powerful way to force bad publicity onto your opponent's early game, which is absolutely brutal considering what bad publicity does. But I guess if you're not building for it, it wouldn't be a very good general application card.
So you think it'll be a build around, but it won't see sort of ubiquitous play?
Yeah, definitely.
Valley?
Seems all right. I think I lean more the other direction. I think building hard around getting forcing the corp to take the bad pub seems bad. Like blowing up ice while you're running is not the easiest thing. You need it's pretty much exactly crew, right?
Crew or chisel.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but neither of those you really want to play in Crim, I wouldn't think, and I don't think you want to import this to Anarch. So that seems a little far-fetched to me. But it's just on its own. It's a pretty hard choice for the corp. So I think this will be at least a playable card. At least we will definitely see some experimentation.
Let's go backwards up the line this time. Lander?
I'm going to be slotting some amount of this in my Baz list and be extremely happy about it, because no matter what, I'm getting something I want.
Yeah, so
either that being a derez or bad pub.
Baz, for Lou's reference, is an identity that says when the corp reses a piece of ice, you can install a resource or piece of hardware from your grip. So the idea here is that you're they have to res if they want to be able to de-res, and if they res, you get your Baz fire, and if they don't res, you get your bad pub from the Compromat.
Hey, that's some good shit.
Evie?
Definitely a build around card. This is one of those sort of missing pieces where if you want to have a deck which focuses hard on HQ and the remote, but for the most part ignores R&D, this is one of those missing pieces that fits into that sort of deck really well.
And Casper?
I'm not normally a Crim head. I'm normally an Anarch head, but I saw this get played on, I think it was the Neon Static stream in their Baz deck, and that was pretty cool. So I might be trying out Baz again. Like, Bad Pub is a pretty huge thing to have, and even if they don't give you that, depending on what ice it is, making the corp pay that money again to res it is also pretty good.
So I'm gonna own up here. Chat has rightly called me up. This is backline erasure. Backline another way to trigger this ice. I'm going to mention that I'm engaging in backline erasure and then continue to engage in backline erasure because everyone in chat that thinks this card does anything now is coping. And I will, if I'm proven wrong on that, then what the hell has happened to Netrunner? How are games, like, if we live in a meta where backline does something, then games are so slow that something has just, like, gone fundamentally wrong.
Hey, this was fun Seb tech before Seb got pigeonholed into spending
A million influence on transfer.
All the influence on transfer, yeah.
Well,
If we get a pivot and we get more glaciers around, then we might see more backline. But yeah, with the current sort of meta, definitely not your first pick.
Well, so my issue is I'm obviously a Shaper head. I'm a big Arasana head. I love doing things mid-run, and Arasana, more than any other identity in the game, benefits from the bad publicity because she's able to install things mid-run. The issue is this is 4 influence, and there used to be a card that you could play to generate bad pub as the runner, which is called Mining Accident. It was an Anarch card, and it was only 2 influence. And so Mining Accident Arasana was a sick deck, and I think Compromat is just way too expensive to import and to get those same highs. So to me, this is dead cardboard, but I'm very far from a Crim player.
Yeah, this is why we play Baz, which is blue Arasana. Totally equivalent. Totally the same. Totally.
Anyway, speaking of Anarch cards that generate bad publicity, we have also, I think, was this earlier today? I've lost all sense of time over preview season.
I think it was earlier today. Give me a second.
We've also got Take a Dive. So this says run HQ or R&D if successful, and if a subroutine resolved during this run, the corp give the corp 1 bad publicity. Remove this event from the game. Lou.
Man, he's fucked up his knee. Who did that to him?
I think he hasn't fucked up his knee. I think that's the bit.
Oh shit. Oh no. Oh, I just got done dead by the card. Shit.
I think you've been played for a fool and are donating money to Lou when Lou is actually completely fine. This is Lou, right?
I've heard people say this is Lou.
That's what me?
No, a French furry.
Yeah. His name's Rene.
Yeah, his name is Rene.
He just goes by Lou.
But he goes by Lou. And he is
Okay.
I think that's his NetSpace avatar, but I might be completely wrong.
Right, okay. Cool. It's still mad to me that like VR chat is basically a canon part of Netrunner. That's mad.
I think it's great.
That's awesome.
So yeah, this is what are your thoughts on the mechanics? It's another way to get bad pubs. You can kind of compare it to Compromat.
I mean, I don't know. How likely are you to resolve a subroutine?
Well, if you cast your mind back to last week, we showed you a brand new card called Stick and Poke.
Yeah, I remember. That's the one with the rat getting inked up.
Yeah, which lets you bolt an extra sub that kind of just doesn't do anything onto ice.
Yeah.
So I think if you want to, it's not hard to resolve a subroutine. Like, I would assume you can always have this give you the bad pub if you're going to play it, put it in your deck and play it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, okay. I mean, if you're using those cards together, then yeah, I would assume Take Dive would be a really good way to farm bad publicity.
Let's go over to Fally.
I mean, I don't think Seb is very interested in this card, so that taints my view of the card already. But it's like,
really
seems good.
But you,
I mean,
okay,
what are
hold
you
on,
spending
hold on.
money on?
But like,
Seb,
That
right?
does a lot of mid-run
Actually,
installs.
Seb does a bunch of mid-run
Sure.
installs that you can spend Bad Pub on, and also, like, you love Raindrops Cut Stone. It's like your favorite card.
It is, but it's also like hasn't been played in Seb since I think last standard rotation. Like,
Yeah, it
it's-
hasn't.
it's
But like,
not-
maybe you can bring it back. Maybe it's Raindrops Seb
maybe
time.
you know what? You're so right, bestie. But even then, like, so the bigger problem I see with for Seb specifically is getting this to actually fire, because usually you're dealing with ice by just removing it, not letting selective subroutines fire, right? So you need to Audrey something that doesn't hurt you too much, and it's a whole thing. But I
Sure.
think if you can get it to fire, the card is very strong. But I think it wants a more like regular Breaker Sue kind of runner than what Seb is doing.
Cass, you're a Reg Anarch head.
I am a Reg Anarch head, and I think this is the best Anarch card they've revealed so far. Like, obviously Rio loves this card, and you'll get to see me play some Rio later, which is pretty cool. But it doesn't have this card in it because it only just got revealed today, I think.
Yeah.
Rio loves it, but I think pretty much any Anarch would be happy to play this. Like, as I think I saw someone say in chat, there's quite a few subroutines that you would let fire for a Bad Pub. So, Bad Pub's good.
Yeah, I'll mention that actually. Right after this stream ends, we're going to be uploading a gameplay video featuring both our new preview, which we'll show off later in this stream, as well as a bunch of the cards that were revealed yesterday or earlier, as that's when we sleeved up the decks and did a recording. And over the next few days, we're going to have a couple more episodes come out of these kind of show matches where we play games with a bunch of the new cards. So I'll drop a link to that when the stream is over, but definitely ones to check out. Returning back to Take a Dive, Evie.
Okay. How often is the question of how often can you forcibly get a subroutine to resolve?
There's a lot of ice with dead subs.
Yeah. I suppose the problem is that with the sort of decks that I've been building at the moment, I've been inadvertently trying to minimize those sort of dead subroutines. So I'm probably going to have a more pessimistic outlook on it than is reasonable. Like Mining Accident ended up seeing plenty of let me rephrase that. Mining Accident ended up seeing plenty of play in Anarch, so I'm sure this will end up fitting in neatly into many decks there.
And Lander.
Yeah, like I don't play Anarch, and the influence is too high to ever really consider exporting it. So like, I don't know how often I'll be playing with this card, but like, Bad Pub to help pay for trash costs seems solid. So like, if you can get the condition to fire semi-consistently, yeah, absolutely. You just like, hey, look, I trash your things for one less credit, and therefore I feed all you better.
Yeah, see, I think I am spending 4 influence on this. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm trying 12 Anarch influence Arasana, because Bad Pub does messed up things in Arasana. And this seems like the easiest way to guarantee yourself Bad Pub.
And Slap Vandal is kind of made to trigger this.
Yeah,
think
like
also
I'm really used to just eating subs. Because, like, unless you've got a poison vial down, you're only really breaking 1 sub on most ice. At least in the early game.
I think the sheer presence of Gold Company around is also going to make a significant difference on the playability of this card, because that's a deck which you've got a lot of just damage subs flying around.
Yeah, a lot of subs you can let fire.
You can just end up tanking them, yeah.
And then Bad Pub is huge for contesting assets.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. I think with our opinions on Take a Dive out of the way, it's time to let's go to Shaper, and we spoke last time about, you know, cards that don't really do much. Let's talk about cards that don't really do much, and bring you over to Read, Write, Share. So this is 0 money, 2 memory units. So pretty chunky to have on the table. Limit 4 hosted cards. When you install this program and when your turn begins, you may host 1 card from your grip face down on this program to draw a card. And you can trash it at instant speed to shuffle all of those cards back into your deck. Lou?
Is that it?
That's what the card says.
that seems like that seems seriously sort of simple for something that I mean, yeah, okay, it exists, I guess.
Well-
Yeah, I don't see this. I don't think I see many decks where this is sort of taking the slot from something more interesting, you know.
Fally?
Yeah.
I mean, I yeah, card seems bad, but I've also seen you play cards for the explicit purpose of having the text on them. The corpse shuffles their deck and nothing else. So I'm sure some
No, this is the runner
shaper
shuffles.
nonsense.
This is the runner shuffles. You shuffle your own deck.
Yeah, I'm aware. Well, I'm sure this does some. I'm sure this does some shaper nonsense somewhere. Someone's gonna play this card and be happy about it. I don't know if they're gonna be winning tournaments with it, but like this.
I think-
yeah, this, like you said, this is shaper nonsense does nothing. I'm sure someone's happy about it.
I mean, I haven't
Hello,
gone.
yes.
I haven't gone first yet, but I think it's me. I think I'm the shaper nonsense because I look at this card and I see green Gachapon.
Oh yeah, this card is amazing.
Anyone that's been
Yeah.
following me for a while knows that I'm spending like 6 influence on Gachapons right now, just because it thins your deck and it digs you through your deck to find your key pieces. And this thins your deck, digs you through your deck to find key pieces, lets you get rid of all of your stupid bricks once you've got, because like you play loads of duplicate copies of the key engine pieces, you just throw them on here and draw through them. This is 0 influence Gachapon for the cost of 2 memory units I wasn't spending on anything important anyway because I'm playing Arisana. This thing is like, I
Yeah,
think this
it's-
card slaps.
I'm looking forward to doing some nonsense with it because beyond just hey, I've got 3 copies of Knickknack and I'd like to. This deck really needs Knickknack, so I'm gonna filter through my deck to get Knickknack. It also allows you to do sick bullshit Orca whaling combos with beta builds. So like that's a thing that people are gonna do, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, people in chat are also saying it's Dewey support. That's fake. This card doesn't make Dewey real. But just because it says 2 MU on it, there's better. If you're just trying to fill up your MU, there are better 2 MU cards you can play than
Oh no, this is not Dewey support.
than trying to put read write shares on the table. Just put down some SMCs. Like, what are you doing? But like, this is just green Gachapon, and I'm here for it. All right, Evie.
Oh yeah, as I said, this card is absolutely amazing. I would play this in a heartbeat if it was blue. As it is, though, I think I've got too much influence crunch to fit it into any reasonable decks. But this reminds me so much of playing with Paragon back in when FFG cards were still around. Just being able to get rid of cards which you do not want at this moment and potentially draw into more useful options is so important for being able to actually play your deck at a consistent rate.
And Cass.
It's a green card. I don't know what's going on here. But now you've explained like the use cases for it. I can see it. I can see it.
You
I can
play
see what it's going for.
You play red. Red plays Gachapon.
Yeah. I will say the automatic draw at the start of the turn is quite nice as well, just for getting through the deck.
Yeah, actually, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm coming for Vicetron in chat. Okay, you famously are quoted on your YouTube channel as saying 5-click runner, 5-click runner is good. This is 5-click runner. Eat your words. All right. I think with read, write, share discussed, we can move on to our next card, Chain Reaction. So Chain Reaction is a quest card, which means to play it, you have to have made a successful run on HQ, R&D, and Archives. Last week we talked about Deep Dive as a pretty prominent quest card, but where Deep Dive gets you the top 8 cards of R&D to look at and grab 1 to 2 agendas out of, Chain Reaction lets you blow up 2 installed Corp cards, but the Corp gets to clap back and blow up 1 of your cards. Lou.
Explosions are fun. I like this card. This is good.
Any
Yeah,
further
good.
logic, or just like blow shit up good?
I think blow shit up good, honestly. And yeah, Corp gets to slap you back, but honestly, I could I could see this sort of being a very simple solution to some very complicated problems. Like you could kill some combos dead with this. So yeah, explosion good. I have no further comments.
All right, Fally.
So one of the first decks I tried to cook when I got into Netrunner was Deep Dive Seb. So I'm interested. You have my attention. If you give me a quest card in Anarch, I'm immediately just, you have my attention. I think this is not as good as Deep Dive, but it's still quite good. I'm pretty sure. If you can get this to fire, you trash either two pieces of important ice, lock down a server, or like some nonsense server that they've already built up, snipe the upgrades from there. Yeah, I think this card is good.
All right, I'm
This will be
stealing
payoff for some Anarch deck.
Stealing feedback from chat from your thoughts. Crack Hannah, play 2 of these. How does Crack Hannah play 2 of these make you feel?
I think we're dreaming too low there. I think we launder click with Hannah first with the Crim card as well, and then
What with Julie?
yeah, Julie, and then we play 3 of them.
Yo.
And then Corp has no board state anymore.
Build your own apocalypse.
You don't have to run with Hannah. You just click Hannah and you get the Julie click anyway, because that's how Julie works.
Yeah, or you just like, I know, hold on, hear me out. You spend all of your influence on this in Arisana, and you do the win turn by using Spree plus Pishasaur to farm all the clicks you need to just vomit them all onto the table. Now that's gaming. Eliza, do you want to start us off on informed takes on this one? Or more informed?
I'd never played with Apocalypse. So immediately the Corp trashes a card of yours feels absolutely terrifying to me. But decks that run Apocalypse somehow made that work, and I'm sure that people will somehow figure out to make this work now.
Yeah, I've never looked at a deck with Apocalypse in and felt like it made any sense to me at all. But all of the old heads love this card. I can't pull it up because my code isn't built to pull up Apocalypse, but it's an older card. It costs 3 instead of 1. It was 3 influence functionally for everyone, 3 global influence. Play only if you made a successful run on HQ R&D and Archives. It was a quest card, and it just said, trash all installed Corp cards, turn all installed runner cards face down. And face down runner cards, for almost all purposes, are just trashed. You can just imagine that it deleted those as well. So it's just like, it was an old school, just like full global board wipe that people loved. I've never understood what this card does, but apparently it's good. And so that's what this is kind of building to replace.
The only time I've seen it played was in Eternal with Hyperdriver decks, where effectively the Corp doesn't get another turn afterwards, so the fact that you've lost your entire board doesn't matter.
Yeah, but people said it did things outside of Eternal. Like, I fully get it in Eternal, where 1 turn wins you the game, and so blowing up the entire board is enough. And you can also farm extra turns with whatever the farm extra turn quest card was before Apocalypsing. That's the one. But yeah, I don't know. All right, Cass, you're an Anarch player. Tell us if this card is good.
I am an Anarch player, but also I also never got to play with Apocalypse, so I think my thoughts are quite similar in that the sentence "the Corp trashes 1 installed runner card" is terrifying, and it's quite awkward in the sense that you have to be set up enough to be able to complete a quest, but also not set up enough to care about the Corp trashing your twinning, Audrey, whatever you're using. So I'm sure there's sickos out there that can make it work, but I don't think it's me.
Assuming we don't live in Christmas land and you only play 1 of these, what's getting blown up by it? Like, put yourself in Corp head. The Anarch player plays this. You're blowing up twinning, I think, like 9 times out of 10, right?
Yeah. Majority of the time,
why are you playing twinning? what is this nonsense?
Or how are you winning the game? Blowing up
No,
2 of my cards
You're
is
not
not
playing
enough to win the
twinning? What?
game.
No, I mean,
you need to wait to win the
I think this
game.
goes.
Yeah.
I think this goes in a kind of shell that, like, is unironically the SEP game plan, right? Where you've locked down the game to a state where the corp just cannot make a winning move anymore. And at that point, it doesn't matter if you have multi-axis or not. You're just you've got the game on lockdown, right?
So you're trying to play
And
this
then-
out of runner prison.
Yeah, I mean, like the kind of playstyle that SEP does, right? Where you're dismantling the board state to a point where the corp can't really play anymore. And then it like sure your Audrey might get trashed, but like you have Praxis or whatever to bring it back if you really, really do need it back.
Okay, so obviously you have a simul chip and programs on the board. They can't blow up any of your programs, and if they blow up your simul chip, then that's just the same as them blowing up your programs, right? So to me, it feels like you have to hit resources with the clapback. And then with Praxis, that does seem like a more reasonable value proposition in SEP. Okay, you're selling it to me. I still think it's hard to quest.
I don't agree with you there. I think it's, especially early in the game, I think this is like going to be deceptively easy to do early on, especially with all of Anarchs like Lamau. I don't care about ice stuff, or like just like you've got Botchelai, you've got maybe like an import a boomerang or two. Like, I think you can land this way earlier than like the other quest card. Like the other major quest card is Deep Dive, which normally takes a lot more investment. Like you need to get the extra click. You just use this early in the game, blow up their like initial scoring remote, and then they're like sets them back a bit. You lose like the temporary thing you used to get in.
Yeah, but to actually profit off of this, you do want an extra click, right? Because you want to blow up their scoring remote and then grab the agenda they jammed.
Yeah. But just destroying their scoring remote, I think, is like not a bad value proposition anyway. If you're going for like the more scrappy early game version of this, rather than going for more like a normal deep diver-esque playing plan where you're like letting it like you're trying to capitalize off it on the same turn. So you need that extra 5th click.
Okay. I guess. I don't know. I really struggle to see what this card does, but I'm excited to have it used against me and to figure out why I'm wrong. Because, like, I think questing is one of the most hype things that happens in this game. It's when they're doing a normal ass turn and then they say run archives and you stare them dead in the eyes and you're like, damn, I'm about to get dove. That's like a sick moment of gameplay. And this will probably create those moments, but I'm wondering if it's going to be less, damn, I'm about to get dove, and more, fuck, I'm about to get wrecked. So
my scoring remote, no.
We'll see how that plays out in practice. Anyone else with comments on this one, or shall we move on to some HB cards? Okay, it sounds like we shall move on to some HB cards. Which HB card is first on the docket? I think it is Retirement Plan. So this is 1 credit. It is a double, so you have to spend 2 clicks for it instead of 1. Cyclotron notwithstanding. Install 1 agenda, asset, or piece of ice from archives. Lou.
So, sounds really simple, but it's
Yeah,
essentially
God.
just search your discard, right? Because
Yeah, it's put into play from discard.
Yeah, I mean these are always Swiss Army knives. I mean, I could see this being a really common pick, especially for the price listed, just because it's going to allow you to take stuff out of your discard.
So it is it is 2/3 of your turn. It does cost you two out of 3 corp clicks.
I mean, yeah, but if you've got like yeah, oh, okay, fair enough. I mean, maybe it's not as much of a guaranteed pick as I initially thought if it costs you like that much to use it, but I can still see it if you've got like an essential card for a build that maybe got destroyed by a chain reaction, let's say, hypothetically, I could absolutely see this being an absolute fucking lifeline for sort of very sort of specific sort of very specific compositions. I mean, I've played, in the TCGs I have played, cards like this come up in decks quite a lot. Shout out Fishing Rod.
Oh, Fally, you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player. The game with, I think, the most archives is second hand of any game.
Oh yeah, but not like you don't use other cards to recur stuff from the graveyard. That's too inefficient. Like the things need to be doing stuff in their graveyard on their own.
What do you make of
But
this?
so I know there's a very similar card that got banned, that is banned.
So,
where you
okay,
just
so I
got
think-
to pick up a card.
I think there's 3 cards we need to reference, and I can't summon any of them. The first of them is Archived Memories, which got banned. And that was just 1 click, 0 credits, add a card to your hand. Which means functionally this is 1 credit more for add it to hand and then install it.
Yes,
With the notable caveat that you can't add back upgrades with this.
Or operate and
Or
lab
operations,
yeah.
Which are like generally the 2 most powerful card types. The other ones are interns, which was pretty much let me get the text of interns up. It was 0 cost, 2 clicks, install a non-operation card from archives or HQ, ignoring the install costs. That was basically this. 1 credit cheaper. Could install upgrades, could also do it from HQ. and
also
ignore the
ignore
installed cost.
For the purposes of ice.
So that's another card that's sort of relevant. Was never banned. And then finally there was Restore, which was 1 credit, install and res a card from archives. Remove all other copies of that card in archives from the game. So those are sort of the context points.
I mean, I think the card is playable, but I'm not. Yeah, like I mean, this is the kind of card that's really context dependent, right? If you're something that's really good to recur, it's obviously very good. I don't think there's really any like cheating you can do with this, right? Where you like discard something and then res it out. I don't think that really does anything here.
No, you would just play it.
Yeah, it's strictly just as a toolbox value kind of card.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Cass?
I'm not normally an HB player, but I think this seems pretty good. Like Leo can probably use it to put their Bioroids that they've trashed back on the table. Wider HB decks can probably use it to get back assets the runners trashed, like Wage Workers or Working Prototype. Seems pretty good to me.
Eliza?
And if they've got the thing that makes doubles cost 1 click, even better.
Synchro Cyclotron. Yeah, this card is like pure Christmas land, but sure.
Okay, so the use case for cards like this is to be copies 4 through 6 of whatever your most broken card in your deck is, whatever your win condition is. So, in decks gone past, this would be things like Keeling. The problem is that for HB, a lot of the cards they're going to want to recur like this are upgrades, and that's the one class of thing that you can't bring back. So what's the next most broken asset or bit of ice that you could end up continuously recurring to make this useful that you can't effectively just put in a next best copy from somewhere else? 'Cause like a lot of economy cards, you could just put in copies of Regolith. You could probably put in copies of Nico Campaign, cards which aren't going to be your first slot for the economy, but would be a solid second slot.
I mean, I think it's Wage Workers, right? That's what you're putting back on the table with this.
Yeah. My Yeah, my view is that it's best. It's copies 46, as Eliza said, but specifically for cards which have very unique effects, which don't have good alternatives, either because influence text or just there just aren't other cards do the same thing. So like having extra copies of those could be useful.
I think the big thing for me is that like Prison Mirror Morph notwithstanding, which like I love that deck. I've been playing it in Jamming even though all of its good cards rotated. That thing is sick and it does some nasty things. Outside
not
of
allowed
Prison
to
Mirror
play the
Morph, the main thing that like these cards did was like restore bringing back Hollow Man, which you're not allowed to do with this. And so it just kind of like I don't know what it does. This is what we need. We need like
You can do it with the agendas. You can have the agenda in archives, double install the 4/2, click Hollow Man, advance the agenda with your last.
okay,
click.
you can
No,
score a
that
you
does-
can no
that
you
does,
can
that does
you
not. That is in fact does not work. We need.
you can score a
cyclotrons.
3/2 from bin with this, but like
Yeah.
you need
that-
the hollow on the table, like it, and you need like what's the agenda doing in the bin? Why did you put that there?
Good doctor.
I don't know. I'm sure
Oh,
some,
I agree. It's fake. I agree with you. It's fake.
I'm sure some HP players will do something with it, but I don't think I understand it. Speaking of other cards that I don't understand, I'm not a HB player, and they print some HB cards. Perfect Recall. Lou, tell me what this card does, because I don't know.
Hold on.
So it's
Really
one...
wish I could see Lou's face now.
Yeah, so it's 1 credit, Perfect Recall. When you res this upgraded, whenever an agenda is scored or stolen from the root of this server, from this server or its root, that's like nonsense technical tests, don't worry about that. Place 1 power counter on this card, and then for a power counter, reveal a card in your hand, and then the runner is not allowed to steal or trash copies of it for the remainder of the run. Use this ability only during
Oh, well, I mean, when you put it like that, it sounds so simple.
the run. Right?
Uh,
A Yu-Gi-Oh! Ass card.
yeah, actually, it's this is one of those. This is one of those. Oh, you'll know what the card does if you read the description cards. From fucking MTG, and it's got like 6 paragraphs in 3 different languages on it. Fucking, I don't know. The art's pretty nice. As for its like efficacy in putting it in a deck, I have no clue. I don't know enough about Netrunner to even begin. So I'm gonna say that I would rate this probably 4 gigabytes. You could probably put it in your wallet, as the art is pretty nice.
Pally?
This is one of those cards that I really don't want to be good, because I feel like this card only does miserable things. So, if this card is playable, I think it's not good for anyone involved. Even the corp, because you just reveal all your shit. And it's like, well, I guess we're not playing the game anymore. No matter where you get in.
But like, you only get 1 counter for res, and then you have to score off of this to get another counter.
Yeah.
So like, you
What's
can only
damn-
protect very limited things with it.
So this does protect. You could theoretically reveal a copy of an agenda in hand to protect the agenda on the board, right?
Well,
That's something this card
yes.
can do.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
that is correct.
yes. The other thing you can do is you can reveal a combo piece in hand to protect the combo piece in hand. Like, it can protect itself. Say you've got something like a big deal in hand. I say that I'm only like 80% confident you can do that, because this card has so much text on it, my eyes glaze over every time I read it.
No, that should. If I'm reading it correctly, that does feel like that.
Okay, that does work. But yeah.
I think that's my take here. I think if there is a deck in which this card is good, the deck is gonna be miserable. That's my analysis here.
Okay. Let's go over to Eliza.
Okay, so this card has secret text on it saying install in a remote only. Because, as you said, this card is best used for defending HQ. It's a bit like what's the card? Lashmi's Smart Fabrics. But that card only let you protect agendas. This lets you protect your entire hand, and effectively lets you turn a defensive remote into more defensive centrals, which helps solve one of the problems that decks like more Glaciery, PD, and Elio have, where they can build an impregnable remote, but then their centrals end up falling over.
Wait, I understand this card now. You've finally explained it to me.
Well, that makes one of
Yeah.
us.
This is just purple biovolt.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
Wait, this is purple biovolt. I understand the card now. Okay.
like it mostly only works on HQ because R&D needs to be lucky guess, but like it does similar things. Yeah.
Why did we need so many words to create purple biovolt? All right, Cass, you don't play HB. Do you understand this card?
It's got words on it.
All right, yep, valid.
That's all I got to say about this card, I think. It does have words on it. It feels like it'd be good if you pull it off. Not being able to steal the trash, bad.
All right, Lander.
Yeah, like I think the best use case, as previously mentioned, is just protecting HQ with this, which, like, slotting this in a PD deck and just dealing agendas out, and then protecting any that end up in hand. You could maybe do the horrible thing of having more smaller agendas so that you can like get the counters on this quickly and then defend them in HQ better, because normally agendas don't sit in HQ. But like, I don't know, like it's gonna. Yeah.
Point of order here, as chat's also pointed out,
Zinchling has just
this
pointed
card
out.
is not unique.
And Zinchling has just pointed out that you can prevent ice destruction with this as well.
Ooh, that's
mean. I don't like that.
that. Yeah, of course you'd say that, Anarch player.
Why does this card have more text on it every time I read it?
What's the timing here? If I crack crew, can they respond with the counter and save it, or
No, but they can
so they
prevent
would have
you
to do
from
it
cracking.
proactively at least?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone who's down on HB for this set, no, just slot perfect recall and you'll be absolutely fine.
Is anyone down on HB?
I've
Who's
seen
down on
some-
HB?
I have seen some complaining in GLC general chat about
You
HB.
just played like Rotom Appliance's world's winning PD deck and swap all the cards over. You've got Ikawa, you've got border control. Like
You have
just
Train now, you're
swap
happy.
all the cards over and you're fine. Okay, so someone's mentioned you can do this in Bangoon and deny the because Bangoon fires on access and they can't steal. That's very funny.
Yes. I've also
That's
spotted
not
someone.
real. That's cope, but that's very funny.
I've also spotted someone mention compilation. Compilation would bypass this for the same reason it bypasses persistent text, and that it isn't actually trashing anything.
Well, yeah, but Cup can't take agendas anyway, so it's still
Yeah,
your
Cup can't
agendas are still fine.
Yeah, but it allows you to cup other. You can still cup other cards. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Wayland Town, right? Everyone happy to move on to Wayland Town?
I'm always
Yeah.
down to visit Wayland Town.
All right. Our first card on the agenda for Wayland Town is Toxin. A card I have no idea what the intended pronunciation is, so I'm gonna go Toxin for now. It's got a load of text on it. So first things first, it's 8 to res. That's fat. That's a lot of money. It's got 5 strength. That's a really big number, but that's a lot of money. It's got 3 subs. 2 of them are end the run. One of them's the runner loses 2. And then it has its expendable text. Now, expendable is not a mechanic you will have seen, Lou, but basically it means that this card can be played like it was an operation for 1 credit to do the expend effect, which here is search your deck for the other 2 important ice subtypes and put them in your hand.
God damn. I mean, I understand the fat cost because that's insane.
Well, the 8, you only have to pay the 8 if you want the real cost. It's only 1 credit to go and search your deck for the 2 other ice subtypes.
Right. Okay. So shit, I don't know. I think it's probably quite good, and it's definitely gonna. I mean, it's definitely gonna sort of shut down. It's gonna shut down runners wanting to throw subroutines about, because that's, you know, those are some horrendous subroutines to have on the board.
At a pretty annoying to break point as well. 5 strength
Yeah,
code gate is like
absolutely.
pretty annoying to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit. That's yeah, I could see that showing up a lot actually. If people find a way to justify its absurd cost.
It is in green, which is the faction of like currently at least 2
money
people in this
faction.
call are actively playing a green deck that earnestly intends to spend like 28 credits across 2 pieces of ice. So
Oh, vile.
Yeah, green is the faction of infinite money.
Yeah, I reckon you'll see this a lot in decks made by the money faction. Yeah, pretty
Fally?
cool.
I like this card a lot. I really like this card. So, like I said, I play BTL usually if I corp, and usually Winchester and Maskarovka are like the 2 best cards in the deck. This grabs both of them. So I'm really happy about that mode. And then if it goes later, this is a code gate, which can help you really diversify your ice if you need that. So even then, it's like really useful. And later on, you're more happy stomaching the 8, right?
Yeah, so important note as well. Currently, end the run code gate that is not like actually is expensive to get through is just a card pool hole for Wayland right now. They do not have a code gate end the run high strength.
Yeah, exactly.
It's technically
So-
Valentine.
No, there
That's fake.
isn't.
That's fake.
Valentine doesn't end the run. Stop
don't
being
spread lies,
poor.
Eliza.
Yeah, I really like this card. I think this card is really cool.
All right,
I was like,
Lander, you're our resident Wayland player mostly.
Yes, I Infinite Money, like Glacier BTL loves this because, as previously mentioned, there just aren't any big code gates. The best BTL code gate is Message Transfer, and not having to pay influence on this one is good. And grabbing either Winchester or Event Horizon and then just good barrier.
It's masky, let's be honest.
It's masky, but like it's just good. It's the flexibility. Like both modes are like slightly below curve, but the fact that you have the flexibility of both of them makes it much better.
is the reveal mode below curve?
Yeah, this is the
it's
thing.
A click and to
Like,
draw
the
2
reveal-
cards. To draw 2
like,
specific cards.
It's a click and a credit and a card to draw 2.
Yeah, and the card. Yeah, you're right.
Which is like slight from a pure value.
Yeah.
Ignoring the tutor, it's slightly below rate, but like the tutor is probably enough to bring it up. The tutor's a weird value proposition in terms of like photographs, but like, and it's a cost. It's a big. It's slightly below curve, I think, on both, but like that's fine because flexibility.
Cass?
Yeah, the top deck seems pretty good, I think. If you need to find those barriers and sentries in your deck to like gear check the runner, or if you've got specific ones that you want to get out. Also nice to continue to see expendable text on cards. I've played Nuveng before, and I'm sure other Nuveng players would like that this is continuing to be a thing. 8 is a bit on the pricey end for an ice, but like it's Wayland, so it's probably fine. End the run on a code gate is great. 3 subroutines is also a nice number of subroutines to have. Although the first one the runner can probably sometimes ignore, I'm guessing.
This is in fact boomerangable, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Compared with something like Logjam that's boomerang resistant, that's pretty noteworthy. Next up, Eliza.
I really want to try and find a way to effectively double dip on this card so that we can get both the expendable to fire and then install it from archives.
Well, let me tell
So
you,
that-
for the low cost of however much influence retirement home costs.
It was like 2.
It's 2. It's not that bad. Actually.
You can do that.
Right, no, what I actually
only
want
2.
is Eminent Domain that works off of archives.
Oh,
That's what
You
Spin
just-
Doctor is for. Just shuffle it
Yeah,
back in and then
just-
end
just-
it out.
Yeah.
Just
I
spin
want to
doctor.
spend my spin doctor reses on this. Like that's the
Right.
problem. Like it's not high enough value to spend like a spin dock to shuffle back in for. But at the same time, being able to actually get a decent Kogate in Wayland, which they've historically lacked, plus the tutor would be extremely valuable.
Another brief thing to mention is that unlike Treeline, which is normally better as the ice rather than the expendable text, this card is extremely expendable early game, which makes Logjam a bit bigger early,
Yeah,
which
I
is
think
nice.
I think I like the expendable text on this more than the rest of the card, both in the early game and the late game. Because like in the
Yeah.
late game, you're just grabbing a fat barrier that they're going to have to pay for because they already have a decoder down, and you're grabbing Event
Yeah.
Horizon. Like
I
I
really
don't know
don't.
that I ever play this for subs.
Right, but that's the problem. Is like we've got other ice tutor effects, and they don't see play at the moment.
Well, no, but they're all way more work than this, right? You've got to like score off of a Tucana
Secure
or
and
like
protect.
Secure and Protect isn't a real card. That doesn't do anything.
Exactly.
But it gets you one piece of ice, right? One piece of ice is a lot less than two pieces of ice, and it's a double.
Yeah,
This
but it
is
also
a
installs
single.
the ice.
Oh yeah, sure, but like, who cares about the install? It's like either it's late game and you're Wayland and the install like money is immaterial to you, or it's early game and the install cost is low anyway.
All right.
Like this
Yeah.
tutors and installs one piece of ice for a credit. Toxin is a credit to tutor two pieces of ice, and then you can choose to install them or not. It's just better. It's just like strictly better secure and protect. Unless you're in Glacier and Poor, and if you're in Glacier and Poor, you couldn't afford to res the ice anyway, so what are you doing? I think this card is sick. I'm putting this card in my decks.
Yeah, agreed.
Alright.
Big
Well,
Bigger brew.
now we've been based and value pilled. It's time for us to not be based and value pilled and instead be Magical Christmas Land pilled.
More Shaper cards?
No. We are indulging in Wayland Christmas Land
Oh, please tell me more.
with Moshu. 10 cost. Play only if you've scored an agenda this turn that you did not install this turn. Add this operation to your score area as an agenda worth 2 points. Lou.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's expensive. But once again, it's from the goddamn money faction. So it was going to be expensive. I could see this being busted if there's an agenda card that you really want to keep out in play. No, I don't really know the game well enough to know if there's anything that works like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems pretty good.
Fake points are rare and range between unplayable and busted good.
Right.
So there really is a whole spectrum on this one.
Cool. So this is going to be one of those hyper specific cards that if people are running with agendas that they really want to keep on the board, but they still want to score some points, they'd run this, I guess.
Fally?
I don't think this is Christmas Land. I think this is a real card. I like you can put green mail on the table unadvanced, and that sets this up pretty cleanly. You need the money for it, but again, mail and Lamau.
Yeah.
And then you've scored essentially a 3/3.
Yeah, for 13 credits. 14
Like green mail
credits.
refunds you some of that.
Sure.
Yeah. And then you get to like trade in the green mail for sick nasty value.
Okay.
I think this card does.
You know what the
nice.
real Magical Christmas Land is? Playing
That
two of
real
these
Magical
after
Christmas
scoring.
Land is you play this with one of the like 6/5/3s, and then
Yeah, you score
just
a single
win-
5-3,
win-
then play two of these and win the game in one turn.
yeah.
Well, or a 4-3. I was going to say you do this. There's definitely a way to do this with like Vuln.
You have to slow cook it and start a little bit, and then just like have like 22 credits.
Yeah,
20,
just be
21
like
credits.
comically rich and just like Vuln Moshu win in a single turn.
You can also do that with Luxury Liner as well, because that fundamentally gives you an extra click.
True.
This
Okay,
is for influence though, so like
yeah. I mean, HP does do nonsense though, so. Well, wait. Is there a reality where you do this in what is the HP, the default HP identity call that picks
Precision
stuff up
design.
from-
You can't pick
Yeah,
up
you just-
Moshu
you
because it
just-
goes
you
to your
just-
score area.
Oh, right, it goes through score area. All right.
this also means you can't do the same thing with like Spire or something because again it doesn't actually
Yeah.
go
Oh,
archives.
true. We can't just do that in Valent. I forgot.
Yeah, the line being pointed out is seamless Moshu to win off of a single vuln, which does seem kind of messed up.
Yep. Simply have what 23 credits spare.
I mean,
for the
I'm gonna put this out there. I'm putting a bounty. If anyone can get a footage of a game that happens at an event and is a real game that you haven't staged, of in startup going luminal into triple Moshu win from no points, then I will pay you £100 British cash because I want to see that shit happen. So go to startup side events, figure out a way to record your games, and if you can pull off luminal into triple Moshu, I will pay you real money because I want to see that happen. I also don't think it's going to happen, and my money is quite safe. But Eliza, do you have thoughts?
No, you've pretty much comprehensively covered all the thoughts I was going to have on this card.
Yeah, Zinchling Luminal's banned, but not in startup. So
Actually,
unless
there is one
we
thing.
banned it in startup and I didn't notice. So get to your startup side events.
There is actually one thing. This is meant to be a Go board. They've messed up the Go board. Go
Look.
is played on the intersections, not the squares.
You see, what you think this is a Go board, this is actually a Wayland Go board, which is a different
Wayland does
game
whatever the
played
fuck
by
they want.
Wayland. Yeah, Go changed, when it went into NetSpace. They didn't have the technology to put it on the lines anymore.
It's also a pretty wacky position, I'm pretty sure. Like, what the hell is going
The
on?
position is a real position from a real game.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they've been playing that for a while. Good fucking god.
I can pull up the game. I found it a while ago. I saw the art and I went digging through Sensei's library for the game.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
It is a real game position though.
No, this
it
game
is
being
the
played offline.
famous
I hate it
killing
here.
game. The famous killing game of 1926. I will. I'm not well set up to link that in chat. I'm gonna. Oh, none of you can link it in chat. Hold on. I'm gonna open chat. Give me a sec. I gotta hit like 26 buttons to get to chat from the correct account. Studio. We're gonna get it in chat because I did track it down. Live streams. This live stream. Chat I can type into, which is here. And then the chat is here. Post link. Pin message. There you go. There's the game. If anyone wants to check it out, it's a pretty nasty game. But yeah, the unfortunate that the rules of Go have changed between now and then, such that you play it on a different location. But pretty, it is a real game at least.
Yeah, this is alpha footage for Go 2 actually, which is coming out with the new cards. It's coming out as a side project.
Yeah, and hey, it's an Adam S. Doyle hand. We can't have too many complaints about Doyle drawing hands. Anyone else with thoughts on Moshu, or shall we move on to our final segment, Jinteki? All right, it sounds like final segment, Jinteki time. Knowledge Seeker. So, Knowledge Seeker, 5 cost, 5 strength code gate. We spoke about 5 strength code gate being a good stat line. Whenever an encounter with this ice ends, if it has 3 or more hosted virus counters, purge virus counters and derez this ice. First sub, place 1 virus counter on this ice. Second sub, look at the top 4 cards of R&D, arrange them in any order. Third sub, end the run. Designed by Soccer. Lou.
Oh god. It's more subroutine hell. We're back. Yeah, whatever an encounter with the size ends at. If it,
So the big thing with this one
okay.
is that viruses conceptually represent things that benefit the runner that increase over time, and that the corp can burn their entire turn to get rid of.
Right,
So
okay.
ice that accumulates viruses and then turns itself off, but also does purge for you when it turns itself off, is an interesting design space, because that first subroutine is effectively strictly beneficial to the runner.
Yeah, that's a really odd thing to have in a corp deck. But the art is really nice. So yeah, this is one for the wallet or the back of a transparent phone case. Probably not one for a deck. Yeah.
Fally?
Yeah, I'm not convinced either. Are there cards right now that care about virus counters being on ice for the runner? Because I can't come up
No.
with anything that I.
The only possible thing would be Nihilist, but that's a fake card.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
one's using Nihilist.
So the first subroutine is essentially just the countdown to the purge.
Yes, it is a countdown that the corp is able to reset if they want to burn their whole turn. Or use a tool like Mavirus.
Or Fly Swatter.
Or just put a Fly Swatter in front of it.
I mean, I feel like this is essentially Winchester, but for R&D, right? I don't think you want to put this anywhere else other than R&D. Well, actually, yeah, I'm not sure this card is really all that good in any way, because even like it's strength 5 and the run, but it does nothing else really. It gives you some card selection on top of R&D, which isn't nothing, but I don't think this will ever protect your R&D, right? Because if the end the run doesn't protect the R&D, why would the subroutine right before it? I think this is really low value for being a 5 cost ice. I guess it's pretty big for being a 5 cost ice.
So I guess it's worth comparing to the current premium code gate that Jinteki decks are playing, which is Vampire and Asa, which is 2 credits more, has a whole smorgasbord of subroutines, and is only 4 strength.
Yeah, okay, so it is very efficient end the run then.
Yes, importantly, this doesn't end the run. In fact, is there any code gate end the run in Jinteki at the moment?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
They
that's
have a
what
bunch
I'm
of
wondering.
they have a bunch of things that make you suffer, but like I don't think there's anything that actually ends the run.
There's Diviner sometimes, but
No,
that's
okay.
not real.
Is there any
That's not real.
Is there any real Jinteki code gate end the run right now?
It's not one that comes to mind.
Half run, but that's only a
Half run
gate
is
half the
also
time.
not real. That's an op card, not a Jinteki
It's
card.
also barrier code. It's also barrier plus code gate, so it's like
Yeah.
Micah Web can occasionally.
Michael Web.
Awesome.
Okay, sure. In the magical world where Michael Web has subroutines.
But yeah, the other big code gates are all net damage ones.
Yeah. So it is filling a niche definitely as well.
Yeah. I feel like this card has just a lot of words on it that don't do a whole lot, but it's still like perfectly fine. Like if you really want an enter on code gate, you can do worse.
So
I mean, Vamp is clearly better though, because like look at that awesome ass squid. Like that's so much better.
it is the sack
I don't know.
squid. Although I do love the knowledge seekers. I do also.
Yeah,
it is
really
an
like
explicit.
that.
It is also like an explicit Avatar: The Last Airbender reference.
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
cute.
say this is just Wang Shitong's library. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
all-
No,
I'm all
literally,
here
Wang
for
Shitong
it.
is in the card, right?
Yeah, and his fox spirits that
Yeah,
go out
and the
seek
card is
knowledge.
designed by a player whose handle is named after Avatar, as I understand it.
Like I want to play mat of this, that's for sure. I can
Oh,
tell
I
you
would.
that much.
Yeah, ice playmats are kind of jank because like the art proportions are wrong.
Yeah.
But if there's an extended art of this, then I would love a playmat of this.
It's nice colors. It's like really nice, like blue with like bits of red. It's like very nice.
So I'm going to pitch my dream for this card. My dream for this card is this is like innermost on R&D. It's big and expensive for them to go through, and you put a virus in. You put a fly swatter in front of it. So like on the turn where they are going to finally get the 3D res, instead of paying the 5, you pay the 2 and put another wall in their way. That's like the Christmas Land dream scenario. Like, my R&D is expensive, you are not running it, and if you are trying to run it, I'm getting top control.
Yeah.
And
Or you
top
just play
control
to
is a pretty valuable thing to have, actually. Even if
Yeah.
you're just using it to control your draw.
Also, just be Jinteki Glacier and be rich. Like the 5 credits are fake. It's fine. You get a free purge out of it. That's value.
Yeah, there are now 2 whole identities where you can just drip a credit a turn.
The fact
Just be
that this
rich.
inadvertently ends up hosing most of the popular Anarch decks as well is
Yeah.
also very useful.
Yeah, like I don't think you want to remove the virus counters off of this. I think you're just like, if they want to slam their face into that, and you just res it again for 5, I think you're pretty happy.
But they're never going to give you the purge at a time that's advantageous to you, right? They're going to crack their fly swatter before they take the 3rd hit on this.
Yeah, no, I'm
They
saying
crack
as
their
the,
fermenter.
yeah,
Also, see some.
but like Audrey is not exactly a thing you can just.
Yeah, we've got Audreys and Botchlists floating around that are going to naturally end up accumulating counters on them. I think that you're still going to get good value out of this, even if the purge is effectively uncontrolled.
Also, I see someone mention in chat how you can use a knowledge seeker to purge a knowledge seeker. Just have more than one of these on the table.
Yeah, you've got them out of phase with each other. Yeah, I mean,
Well, they're
but
naturally
like,
out of phase,
it's such R&D ice. Do you ever really want to have, like, I guess you got 2 on
Again,
R&D?
I'd
Again,
be
is
happy
it R&D?
tracking one of these on archives.
Is it R&D ice? Because like I can see the reasoning why, because you can reorder R&D to protect it. But like, if that's subroutine fire, surely the end to run also fires, right? Like,
No, you like get
There's a
slap
few-
vandaled through. You get
Like botch fly.
okay, exactly.
like
slap
single
vandal.
single counter botulus, so that you can run once a
Yeah.
turn is not super uncommon. There's a handful of scenarios where you can only really break the end of the run.
Honestly, just putting this on the remote and have the remote have like taxing ice on in front of it, like it's like this is being the innermost. You need to pay to get past this last.
I don't know
before
that
you...
5 strength 1 sub is worth it for 5 on a remote.
Maybe, I don't know. I think it goes R&D first, but like after that, you
I mean,
can
the R&D effect is still nice, right? It is still card selection, even if it goes off on a remote.
Yeah. Eliza or Cass, any thoughts?
I do feel like the purge on this is like really awkward because it only ever happens when the runner interacts with it. So using it for the purge is probably not its intended use. But also, like, if the runner wants to repeatedly run R&D a bunch of times, then they can't do that anymore if they do care about the purge, I guess. So
I mean, you can break the sub. The fact that you
Okay.
can
Yeah,
break
you
the
can
place
also
one
break
virus
the sub.
counter is such
yeah,
interesting
you can
design.
just not.
Right, but the fact that you're forcing the runner to actually spend money in order to not put the virus counters on there is also a benefit of itself in the sort of deck
or
they're
an
going to want
extra
to play this.
Yeah, or an extra counter from Audrey. I mean, I guess on Audrey you're actually breaking 1 and 3, right? You're letting the top control
Yes.
fire.
Oh, yeah.
This card gets more wrinkly the more I look at it.
Good card.
It's a good card.
Like good in terms of design. I don't know how well it would play. But
I
think it
agree.
will be played.
This is a fantastically designed card.
Oh, I don't know. I think this is pretty much a default slot in for any sort of Jinteki that's even remotely glaciary. Or
So-
even like a lot of mid-range Jinteki decks are going to love this.
The
As
thing
long
is,
as you're putting more than one piece of ice on a server, you're going to be quite happy with Knowledge Seeker.
If your goal is just attacks the runner out, Vampy is better. 4 strength 4 subs is better stat line than 5 strength 2 subs.
Which decoders are we talking about? Because the problem is you play Shaper, which means you get Oiler, so therefore you're biased.
Yeah, but Vampy gets the squid, so like,
Well,
you know,
well, no, but
there's no
like just
contest, really.
just on principle, right? Vampy is, I think, for pretty much everything, either like more annoying to break. The exception, I guess, is Buzzsaw,
Which is a pretty big
where
exception.
it's the same. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
given other cards revealed today, maybe Buzzsaw starts being a lot more prolific. I haven't got that card in the schedule for us to look at in this stream, but
Right, but also Vampiro-Nasa, like, often you can just like let a Vampiro-Nasa fire if
Well,
you need to.
well, yeah.
Whereas this, you really can't. You actually do have to pay the tax every time you run into
Yeah,
it.
I guess. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah. In my head, so normally when you're playing these kind of just like giant ice taxing decks, that's not the end the run effect you care about, because the end the run effect you care about is Nanoetic, right?
For the remote, yes, but
Yeah.
this isn't a remote ice. This is a central ice. Like your first one goes on R&D, your second one goes on R&D if you haven't already built a big tower there, and if not, it'll just go on Archives or HQ, and it's quite happy there.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I can see it. I'm excited to see what this card does. If no one else has any Knowledge Seeker shaped thoughts, we can move on to our next Jinteki card, the Red Room, which I think is maybe my favorite art from the new set that we've seen so far, at least. So the Red Room, 1 credit, unique upgrade facility, central server only. The first time each turn an agenda is scored or stolen, place a power counter on this upgrade. Hosted power counter, end the run, use this ability only during a run against another server. Lou.
Damn. Okay, I completely agree with you on the art. This is awesome. As far as its in-game efficacy, I mean, you know, having the ability to end a having the ability to sort of end a run as soon as you've got sort of one agenda is sort of a really useful thing to have in your back pocket, ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's nothing super fancy, but it definitely sounds like a useful thing if you've got someone on an absolute tear coming towards, like, you know, your HQ.
So the big quirk is
seems good.
it can't protect itself. So you have to commit it to either your hand, your deck, or archives, usually your hand or your deck.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know.
Sally?
I still
Oh.
think it's pretty good.
Okay.
Honestly.
Fally?
Yeah, this card seems crazy. This card seems really, really good. Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, as far as I know, Glacier Jinteki is not really a thing right now.
No.
Or
RH
it's-
Glacier is one of the like tier 2 decks.
Sure, all right. Yeah, in that case, that deck will greatly enjoy playing this card, I expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems very, very good for that.
All right, Cass. I mean, hold on, Cass. Let's me and you hold off on this one, actually.
All right, yeah.
Eliza or Luke, one of you want to jump in with this?
Luke, do you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah. Like this is really interesting. Like where you put this to defend the other places, and like how do you protect this? Like realistically, I think the most likely place for this is R&D, because that's normally where your ice is tallest, so that this can protect the remote, any like high value HQ runs when there's actually agendas in there, / the opponent plays like a transfer or something, and just like force them to run through your entire huge stack of R&D ice to actually deal with this thing. But it's interesting. It's the fact that it takes a little bit to get going because of the whole needing agendas to be entering the game means that it also isn't like as obviously good in like hyper low agenda suites, which I think is a good thing because 6x3 is miserable.
6x3 is miserable. Eliza, do you have thoughts?
So my first thought is that the current decks that this would fit into are going to have a bit of a slots problem trying to actually fit it in. Specifically like the RH Glacier. Melia's You might have a bit of an easier time just because it's a bigger deck, and this can fill in some of the gaps that you might have put like a third copy of Anoetic Void in. The problem I've got with it is the fact that it doesn't do anything until an agenda is scored or stolen.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're
it doesn't
if
have
you're
the when
behind
you
in-
res this text that like Perfect Recall
Yeah.
does, right?
Yeah, that's the bit that's making me think that this card's probably going to see less play than the other possible defensive upgrades that Jinteki's got access to. I also disagree about the placement. I think this is like 90% of the time going to go on HQ. Because most of the time against Jinteki Glaciers, the game is either going to end up being in R&D or the remote. It's not normally in HQ outside of the very early game, when this is unlikely to have counters on it. It's like if you end up drawing this super early, yeah, you might chuck the first copy on R&D, but after the first agenda's scored, any more copies that you draw are just going to go straight on HQ.
Cass?
Yeah, I think this card is pretty good. I did have it played against me in our show match that will be aired later. I think it does join a number of other cards in the faction that have a similar role, like your Anoetics, your Adrians sometimes, your Propria Negations, which isn't an end the run, but does send the runner off somewhere else so they can't touch your scoring server for a turn.
Yep.
And yeah, I think I agree with what Eliza said in that this normally gets put on HQ to stop runs on the scoring server, or to stop like things like a twinning run on R&D, for instance. So yeah.
Now, I think I'm going to tell everyone a story. And that story is going to contain some nuggets of information. It may even contain a preview of things to come.
Ooh.
I'd like you to imagine a world where this is installed on archives because your opponent had botuluses everywhere else, and your archives was actually kind of annoying to get into because it had a Cloud Eater in front of it.
Big Snake did. Big
Sounds
Snake.
vaguely familiar.
Yeah, it's got some counters. You have a Propria Negation scored, so you can bounce them around willy-nilly as well. You've got an Anoetic in the remote. And really the only weakness is that this doesn't protect itself. If only there was an agenda that you could score that might help with that. And with that, I'm going to introduce our exclusive preview, Lotus Haze. This is a new Jinteki 4-2 agenda security. When you score this agenda, place 3 agenda counters on it. And for a hosted agenda counter at instant speed, move 1 resed upgrade to the root of another server. With this scored as well, I am then able to gently sweep the red room over to any server at any time it might be contested, fully protecting it, and construct an immaculate Jinteki prison that definitely has no ways to be taken apart and doesn't fall apart under the slightest bit of pressure. I'm going to recommend that when you're done here, you will watch the video I will publish, because the game me and Cass played with this card was an absolute blast.
it sure was a game in which things were definitely resolved correctly, and I definitely wouldn't have been game lost if it was at a tournament.
I think we would have both been game lost several
Yes,
times in a
yeah.
tournament. That game, so the problem you need to understand, chat, is that when the simplest run involves about 4 mid-run conditional ability triggers with slightly different timings, it's really hard to do it's like really hard to do them all. You just like do 2 of them and then forget that Rio has text, and forget that Melies has text, and forget that Stick and Poke has text.
I'm supposed to resolve that first, and it might have changed the outcome of the entire thing if we didn't. But
the game we played was a complete mess, but it was sick.
Yep.
And so I will be publishing that right after this stream ends. Let's kick it over to Lou for an opinion on Lotus Haze.
Okay, so Lotus Haze probably beats the Red Room for give me a playmat of this. Look how pretty that is. That's so fucking nice.
Yeah, I'm consider myself very privileged to have been given the full art of this for the stream. It is a gorgeous piece of art.
That's so cool. Mate, I'll put that on my wall, actually. That's gorgeous. Full arts. Netrunner full art cards. When? Come on. Give us some.
We do get full arts for tournament prizing.
Okay, but that's like tournament prizing. Let me just buy one. I don't play this game.
Some of our cheaper lower end tournament prizing is just you can buy it for people to run tournaments with. So
that's cute. I like that.
If this comes on a GNK, I'll let you know, and we'll slip you a card.
Thanks. Hell yeah. Ah, legend. Thank you. I don't know. It's
question from chat. No, this does not trigger the install for Atea. Atea swap installs only fire off of swap from hand, not just move on server.
If it doesn't trigger the install for Atea, then I don't want it. Take it back.
Lou, have we even shown you Atea? Do you know what the text on Atea is?
Yeah, totally, definitely. You know me. I play so much Netrunner. Yeah, no. Honestly, I think, yeah, this one's good. I put it in a deck purely because it's nice to look at. I'm giving this one 4 sticks of DDR4 RAM.
Oof, that's expensive in today's day and age.
Yeah.
All right, Fally.
I mean, at least as a Shinteki Eyes, it only makes you miserable when they score, not when you steal it. So that's already something to be thankful for.
Fally's favorite faction to play against is Jinteki, by the way, everyone.
Yeah.
You played like 2 games against PE and quit the game. That's how it went, right?
Yeah. I think it was 1 game. Frankly, I think it was 1 game, and that was all I needed. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not entirely certain of the shenanigans you can do with this, but I'm sure there's something stupid you can do with this outside of moving the Red Room around. Does this let you put Red Room on a remote?
No. So you can't move things to places that wouldn't be legal targets.
Right.
So I had a prison board set up with this with Proprietary Negation with Anoetic. So the nice thing is like you can move your Anoetic Void onto any server like 3 times. Which gives you like an extremely strong defensive position.
Hey chat, did you know Pinhole says access a card in the root of another server?
Yeah, if someone tries to pinhole your pinhole something with this, you just slide the thing into the server they're running, which is just extremely funny.
That is. Is there a trap you can slide into them? Is there an
so what you could do is if they're so you could like upgrade trap. Is that a thing right now?
Yes. Give me 2 seconds.
Angelique.
Sure. Okay.
Oh yeah, of course.
So you can just like, all right, and ganked as well. But like you can just slide Angelique underneath them at the last moment to chip them for 2 damage. Hell, get 3 Angeliques on the table, burn all 3 of your counters, and just ship them off to hell. Doesn't work because Angelique's unique, but imagine if she wasn't.
But did you know Ganked is not unique? And you know what? You can also run it in a Jinteki deck. Big Snake.
The Cloud Eater, yeah, just like slide all the Gankts onto one server and ram them into Cloud Eater. There's also
Yeah, I mean, seems like the average Shindeki misery agenda.
Mavirus does chip for 1 damage, so you could move Angelique double Mavirus to chip 4 damage guaranteed. Right, because Mavirus isn't unique. Chat's cooking. Hendrix is also just 1 guaranteed damage though. What we really need is another way to get 2 guaranteed damage. And then you can just build the like step 1 step 1 score a Lotus Haze, step 2 the runner cannot run. Ganked Zato. Okay, yeah, hold on. You can gank Zato to farm 3 damage. So Angelique is 2 damage, ganked Zato is 3 damage. Now we're up to 5 damage. Although Zato has remote only text, right? Yes, it does. Anyone else here got some fun ideas for this card? Eliza?
Well, all the ideas so far just sounded miserable rather than fun.
Yes.
No, they sound sick.
Jindeki agendas. What did you expect?
They sound great. I'm having a great time. Oh. The other fun one you could do is if someone's pinholing you, what you do is you move every non-bite upgrade onto the server they're running, and then the only card they can access is the bite that they're legally required to touch. That's a fun one. Lander, you got any hot ideas?
I pointed out the pinhole interaction, and I think that's enough. You just slide Anoretic Void over to the pinhole server and then slide it back again. And then you just say, you're going to have to run through my server multiple times so that you can, because you can't just pinhole my void. No. Beyond that, just, like, it's competing against the other Jinteki 4-2s, which, like, Propagation is an established card that is good. So
it's also just the sheer value of Off-World Office.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's got stiff competition, but I think it will find certain homes. Like the Red Room really likes this. So
I also think it's great with Hollow Man, just protecting your Hollow Man, because then you use 1 counter to get the Hollow Man out of the way when they're contesting it, and then the Hollow Man can move itself back.
Yeah. Other Cyclops like Adrian, it's really good. It's good with.
I think it's better with start of turn than end of turn, but yeah.
Slightly better, yeah, but like it's well, Adrian defends on the opponent's turn anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, true.
I don't think.
Well, yeah, except in Eternal, when you play an offer you can't refuse.
Shush.
Pretty sure that card doesn't see any Eternal play.
I don't think any cards that we've seen see Eternal play, but like, Ritual got pointed in Eternal, so I don't think any of us except for Dungeon Mixter and Knight from Chess, who could not be here tonight, know anything about Eternal. Although I will, on their behalf, shout out Eternal Super League. Everyone tune into Eternal Super League to check out our friends playing great games. Anyone have anything else to say on the hot new card? Or are we good to move to wrapping up the stream?
No, although there is a question from chat. No, the infinite draft ruling does not apply because it's only mid-breach adding, where that sort of like declining access works. If you slide it in, they commit to breach, you slide it in the paidability window, and then they touch it. They have to touch it.
Yes, correct. The gank loop prevention rule only applies to installs that happen after the last paidability window. All right. Well, it is 8 o'clock. We've made excellent time. I hope everyone has enjoyed coming out. I'm going to say that we are pretty much immediately, in fact, I will hit the button on it right now and link it in chat. Videos, we cannot keep track of all these triggers, brackets, exclusive preview. Public, done. And do I still have chat open to share this or no? I don't, great. Let's get chat open. There you go, chat. There's a brand new video where you can watch me and Cass play with this new card. It is a very messy game, and we also had a load of production video issues where our webcam, the camera for our faces crashes halfway through, but it's a hell of a game. So go check that out. If you enjoyed the content you got out of the channel today, do leave a like and subscribe. Drop a comment if you feel like it, but just participating in chat also does wonders for the algorithm. And we will, over the next few games, be uploading a series of these show matches as we scramble to record and edit them so that we can have the freshest previews in each of the games. And I think probably on release day, we will be back for a stream where we will play the game, probably build a load of startup decks. Last year, we did a fun sesh where we all just jammed through building as many startup decks to flood NRDB with as possible so that, you know, people that weren't feeling as confident with deck building could have stuff to play. We'll probably try and do that again. We might live stream it. We'll see how it goes. But plenty of content coming up from the channel, so make sure you check us out. That's goodbye from me, and goodbye from everyone else.